But yeah, picking up to from where I was going into graduation that summer, I was, like I said, I wasn't for sure if I wanted to get back into music or if I just wanted to keep writing for people. And so I was still on the fence about it. But, as an artist, I feel like no artist is ever really like done with music. Like they still at least write for themselves, or they still, they hear a beat and they're like, oh, I could be on this one day. So I was working at Joella's Hot Chicken. Shout out to Joella's Hot Chicken. That was my spot right there in Indy. If you ever in Indy, check them out. No free brand deals though. But I was there, and I remember my friend Matthew came in. He was like, hey, bro, like I've been working with this dude, and you should tap in, whatever. So I tapped in, and that was probably the worst mistake I could have made in life. But yeah.
Explain that.
You said what?
Why was it one of the worst mistakes?
Man, look, it was one of the worst mistakes ever because there's, I feel like everybody has the potential to be a businessman, or a businesswoman, whatever. But you gotta learn when you in business mode and when you in artist mode. So if I'm a, businessman and I'm still an artist making music, I gotta learn when, I'm in a meeting, I'm in business mode, not artist mode. And so, I got with this guy, and, it's like you listen and you get promised all the rags to riches, and, he was trying to do the local record label type thing, he's like, I can't do much for you, but he's like, I can't do much for you, but at the same time, I can do a lot for you. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, you get promised like, yeah, you're going to get this free studio time. You're going to get all these shows. One day we going to go on tour, blah, blah, blah. And at first it's good. Then it's like, it get bad real quick. And so, it's like we put all our faith in this guy, and he let us down, you feel me? And he, we thought we had a safe space to where we could make music freely and do whatever, but it's like we couldn't make music freely, you feel me? Like I had to, because I was one of the main people that came in there with like songs already on the go. Like I had a whole album already prepared, you feel me? So I'm like, I'm gonna come to you with this whole album, and you gonna just drop the album, push the album. And, it's like, okay, we drop a single, he pushed the single, but now I'm like, what's next? And it's like, this album I've been waiting to push, you ain't even let me drop. And then so it's like, I tried to make music, record, and he like, hey, let the other people record, get some time in. I'm like, what about me though? Like, and that stems from when somebody, when you always thinking next, and somebody gonna like pass you in that way, it's like, you kind of block them from doing what they got to do to get past you, And so, I'm sneaking to record songs and all this stuff because I started recording more music again. And so I made a song called Pipe It Up. And that was the song that I felt like I needed to transition me from like little kid to grown man, And not necessarily grown man, but like teenage, because I was making all these kitty love songs about one female, one person. And then it was like, that's when music wasn't fun for me no more. And that's really probably why I quit, because I was like, I keep making all these songs about one girl. And I'm like, all my music has been centered around her. Like, that's not fun. Like, I don't want to keep dealing with this, And so then to make Pipe It Up, which was, not about nobody. It was just the club song that I was like, we get in the club, we make this, you hear this in the club, you gonna vibe and be like, okay. And so, that was like exciting for me, because that was like the first song that was like, wasn't about nobody. It was just a song. And, sometimes, I feel like people feed into it too much. They be like, they hear a song and then they be like, oh yeah, who this song about, But it's like, sometimes a song is just a song for real. Like, and people, it's just how you write, you feel me? Of course you're going to write from your experience in life, but it's not necessarily about somebody. It's just you making music, you feel me? And then, yeah, you get the songs that's a little personal and all this stuff, but it's like, I guarantee you, if Drake right now was making songs all about one person, one female, he would have been done with music a long time ago,
Fair.
And so that's, was a very exciting point for me, but it was just like, the stuff I had to endure with this dude to get to that point, all the lying, studio closing. We didn't have a job at that time. None of us in that studio was working. You feel me? Because we was promised rags to riches. We was promised, some type of something to happen for us. You feel me? And so we trust in this some type of something to happen for us. And then it's like, shit, it ain't happen.
Was this a pen deal that you had to sign?
No, and see, that's the best part about it. Because I feel like if it was a pen deal, like all of us would have been more fucked than what we was. It was just one of those verbal agreements, you to me, hey, you on my team, but whenever you want to leave, I'm not going to stop you from leaving, And so that was like one of the best things, because I remember I told my mom about it. Like, I got so excited. I was like, hey, Mom, like, this is supposed to happen. And she was like, well, before you sign anything, let me see a contract. She was like, let me see it, let me read it. And I was like, it is no contract. That's what I told her. And I was like, it's just an agreement. Like, it's like a handshake, And it's like a handshake is good until you break it. And so I was like, it's just, it's just a verbal agreement that, he got my back, I got his, and, whatever I need, he's going to provide. And he gonna help me out in this music industry. And, she was like, okay. She was like, as long as, she was like, whenever you get to that point and you need to sign something, she was like, let me see that. She was like, I need to see that before you put your pen to anything. And she been like that with everything. Like, even when I was acting, she like, yo, do not put your pen to nothing. If they give you a contract, let me see it. Let me read it. And she was like, and if I don't understand it, we'll get somebody that do understand it. And so, but yeah, like I said, gratefully, luckily that, that wasn't the issue, because like I said, I feel like we would have been more done than what, I thought I was. And so, just like, and it wasn't even like, he was lying to us, but then it's like, you my mans. And I tell you, hey, you can come over here and get studio time. And so you don't pay me, you pay him, and now he done played you and you don't get your studio time. So now you coming at me like, hold on, you referred me to this dude. Now, how am I gonna get my studio time? And it's like, I remember one day, man, I woke up and we was all asleep. I was asleep, knocked out. And I wake up and I'm tagged in all these posts on Instagram. And this dude going on talking about like, F y'all whole team, I'm coming for y'all, blah, blah, blah. Like, somebody owe me bread, blah, blah, blah. And I ain't never met this cat a day in my life. How you tag me in something that got nothing to do with me? Just because my name is associated on the screen, like, I don't got nothing to do with what the business deal that done went down between you and the owner, the head person, and got nothing to do with me. And so I'm like, I'm like, look, bro, I'm like, whatever, I don't know who you are. I'm like, so if you want to hash this out in the DMs, I'm like, you can holler at me in the DMs. I was like, but we not gonna argue in these Instagram comments. Like, I don't know you, you don't know me, you just tagging me because my name is affiliated with this. And granted, I may have seen you one or two times, but we ain't never had a conversation. So I'm like, if you got a problem, hit me in the DMs. And then I'm like, I can connect you in the right place that you need to be going. Because you coming at everybody but the person you really supposed to be